You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.
Okay. So. At this point, we have all the plants inside the pot, and what we need to do is we need to add the stir-like container because it's going to act as our reservoir to hold all of the distilled water that will supply all of the potted plants on the bottom of this grow tent. We had to get a stir-like container that took up the majority of the grow tent just to make sure that we can have a good amount of space in between each of the pots. And also so that we can make sure that we have an abundance of water within the tank to create that high humidity. Generally speaking, once the temperatures fall in this tank or in this grow tent, the humidity rises exponentially. So while it might be 60% humidity in this tank throughout the day, maybe even up to 80%, it's definitely 100 at the nighttime. So we're gonna take this bigger pot, put it in the corner of this reservoir. Like I said, the back portion is going to be the wall, and the front of it's going to be where all the nepenthes are. I assume that they're going to trail eventually, but like I said, they grow very slow when compared to Sarracenia and the cobra lilies, theoretically. I'm here testing the water to make sure that the water falls properly, because this is how my wife is going to water them while I'm gone for the 30 days that I'm away. The whole idea is to pour distilled water from the top duct. It falls into the bigger part of the bigger pot, and then it goes into the reservoir, and then through I can't think of the word right now, but what will happen is the water will be absorbed through the second pot. And this is what we have so far as the pothos inside the grow tent. We didn't add the hanging one yet, but we're about to do that right now. Everything is very green. It's important, very, very important to see how green all the plants are, because if you're looking right now, you'll see that the green leaves of the nepenthes are actually turning red. We also added the pothos that's going to catch the water that initially comes into the grow tent that leads onto the bigger pot that fills the reservoir. But yeah, just remember, this is a temporary setup. This is just while I'm gone. I wanted to see if I could keep my carnivorous plants alive and my chameleon in the best possible enclosure that he can be in while I'm gone. Looking at this nepenthes, you can see that the leaves are turning red, so the light levels had to be dialed down all the way. The cobra lily is dying back a little bit just because of too much light and not enough water, but that's expected with me having let it sat without adding any water since making it. These shouldn't die, these should actually come back. And the moss, the sphagnum moss for this nepenthes is still green. Initially we had a different nepenthes here, but for whatever reason, because of the lack of humidity, we had to add a different nepenthes instead. This one was actually inside my Venus flytrap enclosure, so I knew it was going to survive in here. Additionally, we also have these water lettuce that weren't doing so good in any of my tanks because, of the fish eating them, or because water was just moving too much. And then this is the other pothos that we have planted in the grow tent that is absorbing the water through the reservoir. Additionally, we've added the one jungle vine that we bought from Petco. I'm not a fan of fake things, but there's no way to get a real one where I'm from, so this is what we got. Like I said, the first pothos will catch all the water distributed to the larger pot, and then that will fill the reservoir. The only thing that needs to be done in this grow tent that I can see is that the bugs need to be added. And unfortunately, we can't use things like crickets that'll fall into the reservoir because they'll drown. So we have cups that will hold mealworms, and mealworms shouldn't be able to get out there depending on how large the cups are. Hey, Leaf. You can see he's stressed out because I opened up the grow tent, but he's usually like lime green colored if you see my stories. But yeah, The only thing that needs to be added to this grow tent is the mealworms, the super worms. Other than that, this is what it all looks like. With that, this is what it all looks like. Come back in a week. The next week we'll always have update videos of this tank. What I'm thinking about doing is creating a backdrop that's just filled with pothos, so that the chameleon can climb on the back wall. Because right now it can only climb on the vines and the with the plants in general. But yeah, we're trying to create a backdrop so he can climb on the walls of the grow tent. But we'll do that whenever I come back from this trip. Yep, so I hope y'all all like this video of me creating a temporary ultimate chameleon setup. I'm using this grow tent that I already have. When I move, I'll make a much better video that actually incorporates a lot of other things that most chameleon owners would want, such as like a viewing window that's much larger than the one in this grow tent. So yeah, please subscribe, stay with me, hang in there, and hopefully these videos get better. But until next time, you already know.
You don't know me, but I know you. I want to play a game.